no money saved in my bank account.
How is it that having a steady job with consistent income and being fairly financially responsible, people still end up feeling broke? It's not a small percentage of people either. In the US, 62% of people reported living paycheck to paycheck, indicating they need their next check to cover monthly expenses. But why? Part of the reason can definitely be attributed to external factors like economics, regulation. However, focusing inward, there are common money mistakes that we all make. In my personal and professional experience, I've learned to quickly spot these money mistakes and implement habits to avoid them. In this video, I'm going to share with you 13 common money mistakes that leave people broke. Most people are making these mistakes every day without realizing how it's quietly ruining their finances, wasting tens of thousands of dollars every year when combined. I've ranked these mistakes from least to most detrimental, with number 1 being the real wealth killer. This is Gage St, your financial safe space. I'm a passionate financial strategist, encouraging and empowering busy career professionals to manage money intentionally. My name is Free, and you're important to me. Number 13, ignoring small purchases. Small purchases are those everyday expenses that feel harmless in the moment, but quietly drain your account over time. The danger isn't in the dollar amount, but how easily it adds up over time without you noticing. Those quick store runs, small pick-me-up purchases, or routine buys drain hundreds from your account monthly. Guaranteed. Here's what you need to do. Stop ignoring them and start tracking your expenses for 30 days. You'll be shocked to find out how much you're actually spending on the little things. Number 12, using buy now, pay later. Using buy now, pay later sounds convenient. In fact, it actually is convenient by design, but it's really just debt with better branding. It encourages you to spend money you don't have, making it easier to justify impulse buys, which can lead to multiple payments stacking up fast. The risk here lies in the habitual use and over-reliance on it without fully taking stock of the long-term implications. And despite low barriers to entry, such as not requiring hard inquiries on your credit, some buy now, pay laters will actually report missed payments to credit reporting agencies. More than 40% of people say they've actually missed a payment at least once. To avoid the trap of buy now, pay later, treat them like debit cards. If you can't pay the full price now, you probably shouldn't pay later either. Number 11, having a car payment. Having a car payment is not ideal. It's a fixed, predictable expense that's directly tied to a depreciating asset. Your car is going to continue to lose value year after year. The average American is paying upwards of $742 a month for a new car and $524 for a used car in car payment. That's a lot. That's a lot. This becomes more harmful to your finances if you are essentially car poor, meaning you're paying more than your income can actually support reasonably. You're going to add insult to injury if your payment term drags on for year after year. As a matter of fact, over the last few years, banks and car dealerships have actually extended loan terms for car payments. I remember a few years ago, you could probably get a car loan with terms of 48 months to 60 months. Now, a lot of car dealers and banks that offer auto loans are extending those terms to 84 to 96 months. They're really just doing this as a way to entice buyers because it ultimately lowers their payment, even though they're going to be paying more over a longer period of time. Having a car payment may seem normal, but it's one of the sneakiest ways to stay broke because you're committing hundreds of dollars each month to a depreciating asset. So you're essentially going to be underwater until it's paid off. As a matter of fact, most cars lose 15 to 20% of their value within the first year. To break the cycle, consider driving a reliable car that you can afford without breaking the bank. Pay off that car fast and then redirect that money towards savings and investment. This was actually a money mistake that I was making because I had succumbed to lifestyle creep. As I started making more in my career, I went from a Honda Civic to an Audi Q3 and then an Audi A3. I figured, why not reward myself? What also came with the luxury vehicle was a luxury price tag and a luxury car payment. The next time I had to buy a vehicle, I went right back to Honda because I knew based on my prior experience, it was a reliable vehicle and it was a payment that I could sustain given any and every financial situation that may happen in my life. Now, that's not to negate the fact that car prices in general are rising. The average car price is starting at $30,000. It's just something to consider. Number 10, not tracking expenses. Not tracking expenses is like driving with your eyes closed. Not only is it super dangerous, but you have absolutely no idea where you're going. The motto that I always live by is that my finances and my money needs to get me somewhere. It needs to help me accomplish a goal, or it needs to get me an experience that I will forever remember for a lifetime. 56% of people don't know how much money they spent in the last month. That's mind blowing to me. I'm someone who enjoys tracking my expenses. I've been doing it for years. I've set up the necessary systems to actually make sure that it takes minimal time. For someone that's just getting started, it can definitely be a little bit daunting. Pro tip, go throughout your month and spend as you normally would. And then at the end of the month, just sit down for 30 minutes or an hour and go through your spending, like your bank statement, and just categorize everything up and total it up. And you'll have so much clarity. Listen, it might be very enlightening when you do that, because you'll realize where exactly you're spending your money. And then you can take a step back and say, okay, is my spending aligning with my goals, my ambitions? When you don't track, it's easy to overspend, miss patterns, and feel constantly behind financially. Start by writing down every expense for 30 days, or do it the easy way, just at the end of the month, take a holistic look at your spending using your bank statements. Trust me, tracking your expenses is the fastest way to take control of your money and gain the financial confidence and clarity you deserve. Number 9, lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation happens when your spending rises every time your paycheck does. You get a raise, you spend. You get a bonus, you spend. You get a refund check, you spend. You get some money that you wasn't expecting, you spend. But somehow you still wondering why you feel broke. It keeps you stuck in a cycle where more money does not equal financial freedom. And it really should be the reverse. More money should mean financial freedom. The key is to increase your savings and your investments at the same time and in proportion to the income increase that you've received. You want to increase your savings and your investments before you upgrade your lifestyle, not after. Pro tip, increase your spending and then try to figure out how much you can save based on what you spend, because we can always spend more than what we got. So spend it. Listen, trying to spend less to carve out for saving. Nope, just put the savings and investments away first and then spend whatever's left. Experience. Number 8, being scared to invest. Being scared to invest is one of the most expensive fears you can have. Many people try to wait for the perfect time to invest, when in reality, there is no such thing. The earlier you start, the more time you have to build compound interest and watch your investment in your portfolio accounts grow over time. Also, don't let your lack of knowledge be a reason you stay out of the game, because essentially what you're doing is missing out on passive income. My advice is to start small, stay consistent, and remember, not investing is often riskier than investing and losing out, because at least you're in the game and you can always wait it out until the investments recover and rebound, versus not being in at all. You're for sure losing out. Number 7, not having financial priorities. Not having financial priorities is like trying to win the game of Monopoly, but you don't know the rules, or you playing Uno, but you don't really know how we play. You playing spades, but you keep reneging. Do you really know what's going on? Sit to the side. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Everyone's welcome on Gage St. But no, essentially you're playing the game of life, but you're losing with every turn, literally. Without clear goals, you essentially spend your time reacting to life and reacting to financial situations, as opposed to taking a proactive approach and handling things preemptively to build the life you actually want and deserve. Start by choosing just one priority. It may be paying off a credit card, it may be building an emergency fund, and focus on that one thing. I think oftentimes we try to be the jack of all trades and we end up spreading ourselves too thin and wondering why we're not making progress financially. When you're just starting out and you're really getting your life in order in terms of your finances, start with one thing. And once that habit is built, once it becomes routine, once it becomes as easy as breathing, whatever that goal or that priority is, then you can implement another habit or another goal financially. That would be my recommendation. Because then by honing in and being laser focused on that one goal, you can let the ambitions and the tasks needed to accomplish that goal guide every decision you make when it comes to your finances. I'll give you a prime example. For the month of June, I am challenging myself not to spend a dime. Why? Because over these last few months, there have been times when I've exceeded my budget for the month. I said, all right, we need to take a step back and we need to recalibrate because you need to not do that. I'm challenging myself not to spend any money for 30 days outside of what my essentials are. That is my one goal. That is what I'm laser focused in on. Every decision that I make, personal or financial, is going to be guided by that goal. It's really more so of a discipline challenge. Oftentimes that's what it takes when it comes to handling your money. Number 6, getting comfortable with debt. Getting comfortable with bad debt essentially keeps you stuck in a cycle of financial stress and prevents you from having a healthy life. Let me know in the comments if you've ever felt stressed based on your finances. Having debt has become so embedded in our culture that it's like crazy, low key. Just a little bit. Like if we take a step back, it's wild. Most people don't even think twice about having debt. Some people have the mindset of, I ain't worried about it because I ain't never paying it back. I know I ain't gonna make the money, so I ain't paying it back. A typical household has $175,075 in debt overall. That includes the big stuff like mortgage and auto loans. As a matter of fact, here are the different types of debt with the average per household. And if we zoom in on credit card debt, because I think that's what plagues a lot of generations, here are the breakdowns by generation. Being comfortable with bad debt makes it easier to ignore high interest debt like consumer loans, credit cards, buy now, pay laters like we were talking about earlier, personal loans, payday loans. But unfortunately, letting them pile up only leads to financial anxiety and stress. You keep telling yourself you'll deal with it one day, but one day never comes. Start by facing the reality of your debt. I say create a debt profile where you list all of your different types of debt, the balances, the due dates, the minimum payments, the interest rates, and you have it all on one sheet. Then you can make a plan to prioritize paying it down. You can use the avalanche method or the snowball method. Make a plan that helps you break free from your debt. Imagine a life where you owe absolutely no one. Sounds amazing, right? Watch this video here where I show the best way to reduce your debt and how I was able to get out of $15,000 in debt in 8 months. Number 5, not saving consistently. Not saving consistently leaves you unprepared for emergencies and big life crises. It also means that you are always in a constant state of reacting to things as they happen, whether it be good or bad, as opposed to proactively planning for them. Skipping regular savings means that you're relying on luck and life. And you both for that. Honestly, it puts your money and your mental health at risk. There's a direct correlation between our finances and how we feel about ourselves. To break this cycle, you are going to set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings account, or you're going to have it direct deposited from your employer into your savings. You're going to do one of those two. If you're just starting out and building the habit of savings, you're not trying to save $500 a month or $1,000 a month. What you want to be most concerned with is getting into the habit of 1, having the transfers happen, 2, getting used to living without spending that money. Those are your 2 focuses, not so much the amount. It could be $50 every pay period. It could be $125 every pay period. Once you get to the point where you are comfortable living without that because it's in your savings and you're not spending it, then you can increase it gradually. That's what I want you to do. This essentially gives yourself some breathing room by allowing you to create a savings and emergency fund by paying yourself first every month. Number 4, avoiding smart money management. Avoiding smart money management essentially puts your finances in a chokehold. Literally, I'm talking about WWE, Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena, you can't see me, chokehold. Because up until this point, you've taken a reactive approach to money, adopting a I'll worry about it later mentality. But it's time to be proactive. That's truly the key to financial confidence and financial clarity. No more neglecting your financial responsibilities. We're not doing that no more. Get organized, create a flexible budget. Keyword on flexible, meaning it can adjust and evolve as your life changes. Track your spending and make a plan that lifts those financial boulders from your shoulders. Start taking control of your money and your life today. Number 3, paying too much in taxes. Paying too much in taxes leaves you with less money to invest in your future. Getting a refund is culturally accepted as like a positive and a good thing. Oh, I got a refund check. Yay. But in reality, it's like lending your friend $500 when they only ask for $300 and then feeling all giddy when they give you the $200 back. You did too much. You're doing too much. Overpaying taxes happens when you don't take advantage of tax breaks, deductions, credits, and all the things that the IRS offers when it comes to legal tax avoidance. It can drain your hard-earned cash. To avoid this, educate yourself on tax strategies, which deductions you may qualify, given your lifestyle and household, and how those deductions and credits can reduce your tax liability. And consult with a professional if needed. I personally would recommend a licensed CPA that specializes in taxes or an enrolled agent. They're really good too. Always plan ahead to keep more money that you earn working for you up front. That's another thing that culturally we are more reactive to than proactive is when it comes to our taxes. When I started making like a cute little coin from my 9 to 5, I sat down, and I'm somebody who was an accountant, right? But even me, taxes is not my thing. It was never my thing, not even in graduate school. So I was like, okay, I want to sit down with someone at the beginning of the year to plan out different moves that I can make to reduce my tax liability. One thing for me, when I had my house, I was really focused on all the deductions that I would qualify having a house: property taxes, mortgage insurance, itemizing my deductions versus taking a standard deduction. Let me know if you want more details on taxes, and I can get real granular with it and maybe create like a series or something, because I feel like that's a topic that's pretty overlooked. And I feel like it's overlooked because you really got to be in it to know. I think most influencers aren't really in it like that. I'm someone who I like to know, because that means I can save money. I'm always gonna be for it. Of course, I would love to share with you. Over time, this can be one of the most financially draining mistakes, especially for high income earners who don't use legal strategies to actually reduce their tax liability. It's like voluntarily giving your money away. In this economy, we can't afford to do that. Number 2, trying to get rich quick. Trying to get rich quick because you feel behind financially is a dangerous trap that can lead to even bigger setbacks. I totally get it, because in this current comparison culture that we're in with social media, you're constantly being bombarded with what someone else is doing, what somebody else got, and just generally with the success of others. However, chasing those shortcuts and high risking may promise fast rewards, but they often end in financial loss or regret, or both. To break free from this mindset, focus on steady growth, build your wealth with patience, and trust that consistency is the real path to riches. It takes years to become an overnight success. Number 1, listening to poor financial influences. Listening to poor financial influences is the most detrimental money mistake you can make. It can steer you away from building a solid foundation and set you back a lifetime. Taking advice from those who don't understand money management, those who really just want to get rich quick off of you or your lack of knowledge, only sets you up for failure and frustration. Here's what I want you to do. Develop the power of discernment. Knowing when to listen to that podcast and when not to. Knowing when to listen to that YouTube video and not to. Listen to these ones, because you're important to me, remember? Surround yourself with reliable, knowledgeable people who are not just doing it for a quick buck. Focus on proven strategies, things that you know work. Most importantly, trust your own financial decision making. Trust your own ability to spotlight. That right there. Trust that when it comes to poor financial influences. And this could be anybody, people you know, people you don't know. My motto is I'm only going to take financial advice from somebody who, one, aligns with how I handle my money. I'm more of a keep it simple, set up systems to make it easy for me and my life so I can go on and live my life. I'm not interested in somebody who's quick money, fast talker. That's not really my jam. Make sure that you are following people, whether it be family, friends, or those on social media who align with how you either want to handle your money or how you are currently handling your money. Then, based on the successes of how you've handled your money so far, no matter how big or how small, hone in on that financial confidence and that thought of, okay, I know that this decision is the right decision for me, given my facts and circumstances. And trust that. I think a lot of people don't trust themselves when it comes to money. And we want to peel back the layers. I'm going to say that for another video. Just keep in mind, the right advice will empower you, not take advantage of you. And knowing these mistakes is only half the battle. The real power comes in taking action, making change every day, starting today. Financial freedom is within your reach, but it's up to you to break free from the mistakes that you're making. Start small, make a plan. If you're serious about intentional money management, hit that subscribe button below. Let's build a community that empowers each other. Because remember, every step forward is progress. On Gage Street, perfection is not a requirement. Meet me in the next video. I'll see you there.